Today, I'm going to show you how to go from this to this. This is basically my initial setup. Now, if you want to follow along, what I would like for you to do is to start with a fresh installation of VS Code. And if it's not a fresh installation, then go to your settings.json and just comment everything out. And let's start from scratch. So as you can see here, my settings.json file, it's commented out, and I'm going to gradually build on this, and you'll see the UI changes take place as I'm making changes, as I am uncommenting some of these. I'll try to just briefly explain what they are, but the best way to follow along and see what's happening is to see what's actually happening in the VS Code editor itself. So the first set of things that I'm going to be doing is they're all going to be native VS Code customizations. And again, as I'm making these changes, you will see them on screen so that you can follow along. At the end of this video, I will have this settings.json file in a GitHub repo so that you can access it, as well as the custom CSS file that we have here, which we are going to use custom CSS and JS loader plugin from VS Code. So let's go ahead and hide that. All right, the first thing that I'm gonna do is, and again, these are all native, we are going to get rid of the minimap. So let's go ahead and do that. And again, as you can see, the minimap is now gone. Second things that we are going to do is disable breadcrumbs. As you can see, they were here and now they have disappeared. Another thing that we're going to do is get rid of these indentation lines that you see right here. So as I turn these on, you see they are now gone. Now all of these UI changes are basically to make the editor look cleaner. Some of these things are useful, so as you find yourself needing them, you can just go ahead and go back and add them on. The next thing that I'm going to get rid of is another thing that's very functional, but it does take up space and kind of clutters your editor. And that is the line number. So as you can see, the line numbers right here. I'm gonna go ahead and toggle those off and just keep going through this list. The next one is the vertical scroll bar size. I believe that's going to be the thickness of this bar right here. So let's go ahead and uncomment that. As you can see, it made it less wide, but the bar itself has not adjusted. There we go. So I just moved the editor window a little bit and it adjusted. So now you can see this bar is a lot thinner. It's 4 pixels to be exact, as you see here. The next thing we are going to do is we are going to disable the sticky roll. And I'll show you what that is in a second. Let me undo that. Here in this file, you can see as I am scrolling, you see these pieces of whatever it is, code blocks that you're currently in. That is sticking to the top. So if we go ahead and turn that off, you will see that that is no longer happening. Again, just something that makes everything cleaner. I believe this is how it used to work, and some of us want to keep it that way. The next one is compact folders. And let me first show you what that might look like. Let's go ahead and create a new folder here and call it temp. And within that folder, create another folder. Call that temp 2. Now, as you can see here, the way that VS Code currently organizes that is to have them side by side there if you don't have any files in there. I'm not a fan of that, so I like to turn that off. So let's go ahead and turn that off, and you'll see over here how that changes when I do turn that off. You can see it now treats it like its own folder, and that's how I like to visually see things in the hierarchy, etc. So I'm turning that off. Let's get rid of that folder. All right, the next one is update mode, and all that says is to the editor that when you have new updates, do not auto update. The reason I have that on is because I was using one of these editor plugins that allow you to customize them. And what would happen is once VS Code would update, that plugin would break. So if you have any plugins that break because the plugin owners have not had the time to upgrade before changes were made to VS Code that led to the plugin breaking, then that's something that you want to go ahead and turn off. Next, we're going to have some Workbench customizations. These are color related things. We're going to start here with this sidebar background. And as you can see, this color is associated with a theme that we'll be using later. So just wait until that happens and you'll see how everything starts to play out. Next, the active background. As you can see, the top bar here, same color as that. The title and active background. And let me do something. Let me open side by side windows here because some of these are based on which tab is active or inactive or focused and in focus. So this one, as you can see here, added the color to the activity bar. This one added the tabs to what you see here, these two tabs, which are considered active background. The next one is inactive. Let me show you that again. So those tabs that were inactive, maybe I need another file here for this one. So let me add that here so you can see it. And nope, that's not it. I forget what that one's for, but trust me, if you want a unified theme, use this as part of the changes, as I will link this file in the GitHub so that you guys have access to it. I can't remember what this one is for neither, but at some point you're going to be using the editor and one of these scenarios will pop up and you're going to see that it's a different color than the background color that we have set for the theme, and you're probably not going to like it. So I would suggest just copying these two. Let's see what I said here. Inactive tab on the unfocused split screen. We have inactive here, but it is still not changing colors, so I'm not sure. Maybe because this is the same file. Let's see. Nope, that didn't change anything, so you just have to take my word for it. Let's see. The next one is the editor actions locations, and you'll see when I comment this out, when I uncomment this out, what that is. Did you catch that? You see this right here? It's gone. Again, this is just about decluttering the UI. This piece right here, these ellipses also disappear. If you don't want to show the tabs, you can uncomment this one. But I actually like having the tabs. Not having the tabs there will make it cleaner, but it'll make it harder to navigate. Finally, this one will hide the status bar, which we have here in the bottom. As you can see, when we uncomment that, it hides it. And this sticky behavior here is for the file explorer on your left. So if we don't have that toggled on, you can see here that it's doing the same sticky behavior. But if we do set that off, then you see that no longer is the case. Finally, the theme that we are using is the Catppuccin Frappe. So we're gonna head and enable that. And as you can see, now you have this beautiful UI, this color. And the final step that we are going to take is we are using, as I mentioned, this Custom CSS and JS Loader plugin, which is going to allow us to customize some things that natively we cannot do. So we're going to uncomment this. And this is a file that I do have at this location on my computer, and you do have to reference it using the file / like that. And this is the file right here. In order to load these things, you have to have the plugin set up, and you also want to reload it So let me go ahead and comment all these things out, and then we'll start one by one adding these things in. We are going to be changing the font, so you should notice a change here. We are going to, excuse me. We are going to be reloading that, and you're gonna get this little prompt here. You reload it, and as you can see, now the font family is different. It's the Hagnerd. You could change that to whatever you want. Next. We are going to change the font size of the activity bar. Load that up, and again, you can do all of these things to your preference. The next thing is going to be this right here. It's called the title bar center and title bar right. And again, we're going to reload. Now you can see that's all gone, making this more cleaner once again. And then finally, we're going to update the slider. You can see the slider here. And I think with the reload that we did earlier, the changes, it did make that 4. It does look a little thinner. Anyhow, this last thing is going to be this here. Again, when we were looking at the JSON file, there were quite a few things like these unfocused, inactive areas that on camera I couldn't catch it. But trust me, it took me a while to figure them out, and you want to just copy these if you want this to look as clean as what we have here. And so if we go back to this and we uncomment this block of code right here, let me just delete this. And we reload, you are going to see that that's gone. So if you want to hide the activity bar, you can do that. You just search for activity bar and you hide. And if you want to toggle the file viewer here, you can just use a shortcut. Now you have something that looks extremely clean. If you want to view it in side-by-side view, this is what that looks like. Getting back to the custom CSS, this slider might have been for this one here. Either way, they're both matching. They're 4 pixels. You've got this beautiful look, very clean. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like I said, I will include this in the description area in the video. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you enjoyed this, and just tried to make this quick video to show you guys what my VS Code setup looks like. And I hope you find it that it's a clean setup and you guys want to use this. You could actually use this and modify it some, grab a different theme and change some of the colors that I did and end up with something awesome. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, press the thumbs up, share the video. See you guys later. Peace.